Have you ever asked yourself the question, why am I broke? Well, guess what? I've done a search, and the search was, why am I rich? Do you know there was no search uh, on that? I mean, it didn't pull up that way. It was always someone complaining about, why am I broke? Why I can't make any money? Why I'm not rich? So I am right on time. And I want to give you a little paradigm a shift. Some of you are over 18 years of age, and some of you are over 50. Some of you are over 60 and over 70 years of age. Am I right? Well, we take on what you call a way of life we can't get out of the box. One of the things that happened is we was taught to get a job and be employed. Don't do anything to lose your job. Get a job. And we know that means just over broke. So let me see. Let me see another misconcept that we get. Even though we get the concept to take that job and shove it. All right, so the next thing we want to do, we want to do what? We want to create something for ourselves. And we say, I have arrived. I'm my own boss. I do what I want to do. I start when I want. I quit when I want. But that's a myth. That is a problem, because the problem with that is we really think we have a business up here when we only took employment where you have security, you have some type of benefits, you can eventually get insurance and have the pleasure of overpaying for that. So you got a job because it only puts you into a situation where you're just over broke. So we said, well, we're going to go get us, start our own business. But we end up here. Self-employment. So you're employing yourself, you're sponsoring yourself, and you think you're getting somewhere, but every time you go forward, it seems like you're still going backwards. If you employ somebody, you're employing somebody out of your salary or whatever money that you're making. You see, so you're never in a good situation right here, unless you take your other quadrant right here and you use that along with this, okay? Or you use this along with that, or you use this along with that. See, the other thing here, you can only be employed, or you can only be self-employed, or you can only have a business. But this particular spot here, which is investing, we're never taught to invest. And see, you can invest while you have a job or employed with somebody else. But most people don't want to make no waves. They don't want to do anything where the boss see them and say, well, you're making money some kind of other way, and you're fired. Okay? So we don't ever want to get into that situation. We're scared to even step out to be self-employed. Now, when you get self-employed, you still need to invest. Okay? That's why I'm rich. Okay? What happens here? If you have a business, you need to invest in your business. You need to buy the right tools. You need to employ the right people. You need to be at the right corner of town. See, you need to make all provisions where you have someone else that's answering your calls, someone else that's doing everything. So you can go do something else. Now you have a business that's generating money for you, even if you're not there. So you have to take monies from different places to invest into that business. So what are we going to do? Now that you have your paradigm shift and know if you're here, you're too scared to make money. And when you die of 80 years old, you're going to have left a job and you'll be just the same. There's no increase. There's nothing. You had stopped investing and you retired. You quit. You went to sleep. So now I want to tell you, since you are here, my debt cure is not just a joke. It's going to show you how to get into a place where you can say, I am rich, instead of say, why am I broke? Employed folks say, why am I broke? Self-employed folks have deceived themselves because they think they have a business and they can't go any further, so they just go back and forth, never making it to having a business, and they die self-employed. Until you are trained that you must invest. You must invest into education so you won't have to be self-employed any longer. You're gonna have some. You're gonna have to buy 2 shovels, and one of them will start in your hand, but you want to hand it to someone else along with your helper. So you have 2 shovels digging, and you're not touching it. So now you're on your way to securing your business status. So I appreciate everybody, and I know you are at a point where you want to get out of debt. You're at the right place. So if I ask you to make an investment, then you'll know that you're on your way to having your own business, making money. All right, go ahead, sign up, and I mean, put money to it. Otherwise, why are you here? You don't want to get here. You don't want to get here. You just want to make excuses because you're still thinking like this. And you think you have already arrived, but you're still hitting somebody else's clock. You're still catering to other people, and you're putting your hands on it. So let's get here so we can get here. And all this is a what you call a no-brainer. All right, we'll talk with you later.